So in our last class, we have seen different types of data types, right? So this is where we have ended. And we have seen few of the string manipulation techniques. So how do we read slicing of the string and a few comments, how can we make, and few of the logical operators. So if somebody is new, please go through the first class so that you can understand this continuation.
Hi Ganesh, this is Sai Kiran.
Yeah, hi Saikiran.
So I joined newly, today is my first class. I have seen the demo session, but I couldn't attend yesterday's session. So if you could please provide me the recorded session, it will be helpful for me.
Yeah, so yesterday's session was demo actually. Last class, have you attended
Okay,
for
okay.
the data types?
No, for not for I haven't attended for that session. I have seen the demo session, but
Oh, okay. Okay,
yeah.
yesterday also demo happened for the new people because yesterday most of the people were not there. So yesterday
Mm-hmm.
most of them are new people. So I have taken again demo for them because I was told to take the demo again. So yesterday's class is
Okay,
not important, but prior to that, so the first class, this data types class happened. I will share the class recording
okay,
for that. Just a second.
okay. Sure. Thank you, Ganesh.
Yeah, no problem. Yes, I pasted in the chart. Okay, you can just copy paste somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah. Sure, sure, Ganesh. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello. చెప్పండి. చెప్పండి. హలో. హాసిన్ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 మెంబర్స్ ఉన్నారు కానీ అందులో 1 మెంబర్ న్యూ ఉన్నాడు. సాయి కిరణ్ అని. 5 మెంబర్స్ ఉన్నారు. హాసిని, హరీష్, సందీప్ వీళ్ళే ఉన్నారు. ఓకే. లేదు శ్రీరామ్ లేదు. శ్యామ్ లేదు. హాసిని, హరీష్, సాయి కిరణ్, సందీప్, శ్రీ,
శ్రీ గుడ్డుపల్లి అంటే శ్రీరామన్ అండి.
శ్రీరామ్ అదే తనే శ్రీరామ్ అనుకుంటా. శ్రీరామ్ లేదు అంతే. ఓకే. సారీ. So are you able to install the Jupyter notebook and all? Have you guys tried? So people who don't want, who are new, just install this Anaconda. Okay, this Anaconda software you can install, which is same mentioned in the Windows version or Mac version or Linux version. So then you can open this Jupyter notebook. Try to do it. In case if you're facing any issue, you can ask me. So which is same I have explained in the first class also. So I can just go through the first class once. So you will be able to
Yeah,
understand.
sure.
Yeah. So today, so we talked about the numbers, data types, especially the numbers and the strings and booleans, right? This and the few other logical operators, logical and arithmetic operators. So the numbers, it will including the intent float, the strings, nothing but text, whatever we talked about, the characters and numbers comes under the strings. So whatever we type, so we can call it as a text. So now, so what kind of a data structures we can make out of this? For suppose I would like to have a list of these numbers, list of these numbers or list of these strings. So for our data manipulation technique. So I do have the couple of strings or Python. So some strings I'm creating, some text, I say as Scala. Okay, I would like to name these as a programming languages. I would like to have all of them be on languages. So these are the separate strings. Each one is a string object, and I would like to group them and store into single place by using a list. So list can be defined by the square braces. So the square braces represent the list. So list can have the list of strings or the list of some values, list of some data types. Okay. So how do we define a string or list? By using the square braces. Just keep whatever you wanted to make, just keep inside the square braces by comma separation. Then this is called as a list. So print statement will give us the printing or Python, SAS, and Scala. So now tell me, can I store the strings as well as a number into a list? What do you think? These are not only list of strings and strings as well as some number. Can I do this? Can I add
Yes, I
some?
guess.
Yes, right. So in general, in other programming languages, it's not possible, but Python, it's possible. If you're coming from the Java background or something else, C++, you have to define what list supposed to be. Either it is a string or number, integer or float. You have to mention that beforehand. But in Python, it is not necessary. So that is an advantage. Okay. So you can still create uh, the list one. I'll call it the list one. Print. So I don't type print all the time. So even if I don't type the print, it will get printed. So the last line gets printed automatically. Sometimes even if I don't get print statement, think like already print was there equal to this thing. So we are able to see it. And can I have a list inside of it? Here we have seen the text and we added the numbers. So can we have a list inside a list? This element is a list. Entire list I'm keeping inside a list. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. So now I shown you like how do we create a list by using the existing data. So tell me, how can we access it? How can we access it? So you guys are from the string class, right? How many of you are? I think all of you are there. So tell me, how can I access string? S1 is equal to Python. So this is a string which I have created. So Python language. How can I extract only Python from here? String slicing, isn't it? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. N is at what index? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So P will be storing at 0, Y will be storing at 1, T at 2, H at 3, O at 4, N is at 5. So what I should give in the starting position is 0. 0 is P. And what should be the ending position? 6. Correct? Why? Because the last one is excluded. If you would like to get till n, you have to give n plus 1. If you wanted to get the 5, you have to give 5 plus 1, 6. So in the similarly, nothing changed. It is almost similar. How do we access a list? So the list 2 we have. Similarly, we have to access. Tell me now, how do we access the first element? The first element is at 0th index, R. Second element, we will be storing at second index, nothing but 1. 0th index, first index, second index, third index. So understood the difference, right? Here in case of a string, each character is being stored at the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in case of the list, each element is storing at that index. Or will be stored at 0th index, Python will be stored at first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So tell me, what will be the output of this one? List of 5.
42. No, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, A, comma B.
A comma B. Very good. Yes, A comma B. So this is stored at the index of 5. How do you access only the B? Here you have told me at the 5 index you can get this number. But from this list, I would like to access only the B.
5 semicolon 2. List 2, 5 semicolon.
5 semicolon 2. Values?
Uh, 3, sorry. 0, 1,
Yeah,
3.
how you are saying it? Because it is a list, right?
Yeah,
So fifth one, you will get A comma B. So this is the fifth index. And this colon comma 2, it will give us the next value, right?
yeah.
So 5 and so this should be the end index. In general, this is supposed to be end index. Here you can see the string slicing, 0th indexing till the end index. Suppose if you are true, maybe if I would like to get the values from the R till the SAS. Okay, don't answer this question. Before answering that, can you answer R, Python, SAS, Scala? These 4 I want. How can I do?
List 0, semicolon. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5,
4.
4. Actually,
4.
5, I believe.
Yeah, yes, Sandeep. Yeah, that is correct. Uh, so here you can get 0 till 4, right? So if you provide 5 colon 2, how is it possible? 5 is a starting index, okay? So next should be ending index if you're using the colon, right? So if you type this one, you will not get anything. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth index till 2, which is not possible. If you provide here, so you will get from the fifth to till end. So starting index and ending index and incremental, right? So that is the order and increment. So this is how we have to do the 5. You get the 5. So it is a list again. It is a list again. Consider it as a fresh list where the B is getting stored 0 and 1. So from this list of 5, this we got it. From this list, we have to get the first index. That's how you get the B. So you have to access this entire element. And from this element, you have to again go into the second index, which is the B, zeroth index and first index. So here, I told you how to get the 5. So the last element, right? How do you get a last element in this? You have to go through and take the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're calculating manually. Suppose without calculation, can you get the last element? Again, from the list only, so from the strings only. I told you, right? If you calculate from 0, it is from the left. If you wanted to calculate from the right, it should be -1. Same answer you will get. So this is how we access the list um, from the slicing, list slicing. So this list I have created, or Python, SAS, and Scala. I would like to add a new value. Can I do that? Java. I would like to add a Java. To the existing list. How can I do that? So there is a function which is available inside a list called append. Appending the whatever the value you wanted to provide, you can append to the existing list and type. You can see earlier list is R, Python, SAS, and Scala, and when you add a Java, it becomes this value. Can I remove the value now? How do you remove the value? Just guess it. It's not a big thing, right? You just guess anything. If most of the functions are guessable.
The delete,
Yeah, technically almost correct. It's a remove the function.
remove.
Yeah. remove, suppose I would like to remove R and print. Remove it and print. So the value got removed. So DA languages, we have added the Java, so it got printed, and after removing the R, we got these values. So can you get the last value? I told you, okay, you can use slicing. I would like to get a last value and remove it at the same time. Or I would like to get some value and remove that. SAS I would like to get and remove it. Scala I would like to get it and remove it. So in general, you had to look for the Scala. So for the looking for the Scala is very difficult, right? So when you had to go through the manually, you had to go through and look it, and then get the value and call the remove function to delete it. So there is a function available called pop. The pop, which will give us by default last value. By default, it will give us the last value, and then it will remove. I will show you pop. The pop by default it is giving the last value, which is Java, and you can see here pop got removed. You're accessing the last value as well as removing it at the same time. So it can be happening through the pop. If you would like to mention some particular thing, not only the Java, maybe the first variable, like at 0th position, 0 is the Python. Okay. So you can still pass the index. You can see size and Scala only was there. Python got accessed by using 0th index, and then it got removed. So you can use it without the index. So if you use it without the index, it will take the last value. If you use it with index, it will take the particular index position. Now, okay. So can you tell me here how the memory management will happen?
by indexes.
Correct. So by indices it will happen. Uh, I will tell you one concept in the list. Let me turn on that. So when you create a list, R, Python, sans, comma, it is all strings, right? So whatever the data type. So it may take maybe the 1 byte, or let us say it's 4 bytes of memory. So this also take 4 bytes of memory, 4 bytes and 4 bytes. Total how much memory? 16 bytes of memory. So that is how we thought about the list. So it create a memory blocks 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 blocks of memory were created. So when the size of a list is 4, so is it right that 4 blocks of memory gets created? Technically, no. It will create some empty memory at the end, so which is like blank. So it is ready to accept the new methods. So here R, Python, SAS, and Scala was there. When I try to add Java, so there is an empty space which was already there. So it will be created with the 4 Java. So what is happening here? Think you are having a house. You are having maybe always you will have a guest bedroom. Okay. Suppose if you are having a 2 BHK house, so 1 bedroom you will stay, 1 bedroom you will stay for always guest. Similarly, list will do that. It always provide some empty, if you suppose allocate only 4 bytes of memory, not only 16 bytes, it will create some extra buffer memory. This is called as a buffer memory to accept new elements into a list. So maybe you may think it is a good thing, correct? Yeah, of course it is a good thing. Why? Because when you try to add a Java, so if it is only 1, 2, 3, 4 bytes for there, when you try to add something, you had to increase the data structure to the 4 again, create a new memory block and insert the Java into that. That will take some time. But having this buffer memory, it is always having a space for an extra member. So there are two options you have. So you're staying in 1 BHK, only your family is going to stay. But suppose your parents are coming. So as soon as they come, you construct one more bedroom and give it to them. Or before a hand, you take a 2 BHK bedroom and have both of them ready for the guest. This is for yourself, it is for the guest. So which is beneficial? Which is convenient? This is very convenient. Of course, it will occupy more memory, more size. It will cost you more, but performance will be better. But memory occupation or size occupation is high. We will discuss, remember this concept. So when we're discussing the NumPy, so we'll come back to this again to explain so why this can be a bottleneck in the future. So you know the queuing system? What is a queue? Normal queue I'm talking.
A series of line.
Yeah. So if you go to the booking counter, you'll stand in a queue. Okay, this person is giving you the tickets. I will book my show or whatever, and you're standing in a line. This is the line. Who entered the first, they will exit first. Who entered first, they will exit first, right? Yeah. Yes, Hasni. Yeah, first come, first serve. Please try to speak. Why? Because I can't look into the comments both the time. In case if you have something, try to speak. If it's not possible, that is fine. But if there is a possibility to speak, try to speak. Just turn on the mic and speak. So the first come, first serve. Whoever entered into the booking counter first, they will leave first. They will take first ticket and they will leave. So first in, first out. And what about the bus or train? Who entered into the room? It's a train. It's an entrance. First person will go here, second person, third person. Right. Here, first in, last out. Or last in, first out. Anything. Both ways you can go. So last in, first out. Whoever entered into a last, that person can come out fast. Right? So there are two types of queues can be present. So first in, first out in case of a booking counter, and the last in, first out in case of a train or buses. So using this pop function, can you create that? Both the queues you can make. So in by default pop, if you provide, the list is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you call a pop, 5 will come out. The next time 4, next time 3, next time this 3. The last in, it's coming out first. So almost you're making a queue, life of queue, using a pop. You can use the pop in such a way, take like pop of 0. The first will come out. Then second index will be what? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once this number comes out, this 2 becomes 0, 3 becomes 1, 4 becomes 2, this 3 becomes 3. Again you call the 0, this comes out. Again 3 becomes 0, this becomes 1, this becomes 2. You call it again, so this also becomes 0. So pop 0, when you're using the pop, you can even create
Ganesh,
5.
I can't see your screen, which you are explaining on the iPad, I guess. I can't see
Oh,
that.
sorry. So since when you're not able to see?
Uh, from the from the queues, I mean, when you started explaining about the queues, you are saying about some example, right?
Yeah, booking counter here.
Yeah,
This page itself you can't able to see, right?
yes.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So in the case of booking counter, so you have this thing, so you understood FIFO. So first come, first out in the booking counter case. In case of a trainer bus, whoever entered into the last, that person will come out first. This person will come out first. FIFO. So using the pop, which I have explained, you can create both of them. FIFO and LIFO. First and first out, last and first out. How? By just calling a pop, it will give us the last element by default, right? The 5 will come out. And the next 4, next 3. You call multiple times. Each time the last element will come out of the list. And that gets removed also. And if you call with the pop of 0, so 0th index will come out. And then, so this, once this value is coming out, and the second value will become 0th index. That value becomes first index. this becomes second index, third index. Again, when you call pop of 0, the second number will come out, and then third will become 0, and this will become 1, 2. So you can create 5, 4, and live 4. So this is just by using a simple pop function, you can create a queue. You can create a queue by using a list. In general, if you have to do it in Java and other programming languages, a little bit difficult, not this much easy. Again, R, Python, class, Java. This list was there. This list I told you, it will store it in memory blocks 0, 1, 2, 3. So how do this is a list 1. I will store into a variable called list 1. This entire thing, this entire memory block will be stored at particular address. Just maybe some random number, some random number. This is the address for this list 1. So when you access the list 1, which is allocated with the memory of address this thing, so it will store. So this entire memory block house, this if you consider like it is a house is having so many rooms. This house number is this number. This is what we call it as a ID or address. Anything you can call. So I do have the DA language, something I created this one, right? I'll call it as a old list, sorry. New list equal to the old list. I will append. So if some person is not speaking, you can be on mute. So when you're speaking, just be on mute. Why? Because I'm able to hear my own voice. So here I created a old list. And appended the value of Java. So old list will become something like this, right? Can you tell me what will happen to the new list now? R, Python, and Scala, new list equal to old list I have assigned, and appended the value to the old list.
It will get updated with
Yeah.
Java.
So it will get updated even the new list, right? Is it what you're saying?
Yes, because we said it's equal to the old list, right? The new list. So
Hmm.
I guess I'm not sure.
Okay, fine. That's correct. So you created a new variable and call it as the old list, and you are able to see this. You are able to see whether it is appending to the old list or new list. Both places it is appending because old list equal to new list. That is what we have seen in the earlier case. So similarly, what if I do for this thing? Now, if I do it, of course, new list is getting appended. What will happen to the old list? same. Because both are same. Now the tricky part is, so what will happen now? Here, for suppose in the same case, I'm appending to the old list Java, but I don't want it to update to the new list. How can I do that? So first of all, why it is happening here? The new list and old list, when I do for the old list, why it is getting appended to the new list at first place?
Because in the new list, we're taking the old list as the variable.
So when you create a new variable, suppose like list2 you are creating. So the list1 is like old list, consider like it is old list. So list2 is equal to list1. When I say that, so will it assign a complete list or what? So list2 is equal to list1. So list1 is these values and it is locating at this address. So when I say list2 is equal to list1, okay, so this particular address gets mapped to list2. It will not create a new memory of block, new block of memory. This address will be assigned to list2. That's why whatever the operations you are doing it, you are doing in the same address. List1 dot append, that is at the same address. Same address the list2 also having it. That's why it was able to do. Now, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. There is a function called copy. Now you see, of course, old list get appended. Look at the new list. It's not get added. Java is not getting added to the new list. So in this case, what happened? So we did the deep copy. So deep copy in the sense, so the list2 we have created from the existing list 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, the new list we have created from the existing list 1, and it will have a completely new address. This and this are not equal. So that is only will happen list1 dot copy. When you call a copy function, it will copy entire values into a new list. Whatever the R Python SAS Scala, this entire values will get added as a new list with a new address. It's kind of we're creating a replica block of memory. That's why even if you append something here, list2 is a copy of the list1, not the exact address we are copying. That's why it is not getting appended to the list2. How can we verify that? Whatever the concept I have explained, how can we verify that? It is very simple. Here, for in this case, print. So there is a function called ID. You pass old list, you will get an address for the old list. Pass a new list, will get an address. You can see both are same. By doing the equal to operator, so it is nothing but address is getting assigned, like I explained earlier. Same thing, you check here. Old list and new list, both addresses are different. In the copy case, it is creating a completely new block of memory, which is having a completely different address. Now, old list, I would like to compare whether the old list and new list is having the same values or not. Very simple, right? By using the double equal to operator, I'm comparing. So new list is this thing. Old list will be these values. Both are in general different. So by doing the double equal to, you can check old list is equal to new list or not. In this case, it is not. Similarly, so I can give brief example. Here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, both are same. That's why old list double equal to new list is true. So these and all, we are doing comparison against to what? Comparison against to the values. It will compare one value with 1, 2 with 2, 3 with 3. Is there any way we can compare the addresses? Is there any way we can compare the addresses? Yes, it is there. So one thing is you can do the ID and compare both are same or not. So this was also a very good way of doing it. Or if you don't want to do that, old list is new list. It is false because these two IDs are different. So when you use the is keyword, it will compare the address of the old list and the new list. Compare the two separate addresses. We know it is both are different. So even if you create here address block, both are different, right? Both are different. That's why it is false. But suppose if you have to new list is equal to old list, where the address is similar, use the is function, it will be true. Why? Because here addresses are same. So this is very crucial and people often do the mistake when we are using the functions. So people will think, so they have the new old values. So they have the old set of values and they will call a function by passing this old list by copying into new list. They don't want to change this one before and after the function call. If they do like this variable is being passed to the function, then they may do a lot of mistakes, which will again, this will discuss in the functions class, but I'm just giving heads up. So now we have this sentence. Can you split this sentence into a list of strings? Hi, and split based on the space. I mean, split based on the space here. So what can be the function? The split based on the space. High, safe, and this space. Every space has to be removed, and the values are elements before and after the spaces coming into a new value. After splitting, can you see here? At the end, these are square braces. So where? So split output is a list. Split output is a list. This is how we convert a string into a list. If you would like to split based on a comma, pass a comma. This is the first element of a list, second element of a list. Here, how many elements? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So many elements for that. Here only the two elements. Because we did it from the comma. You can even split based on whatever you pass inside the split you take. Split based on this keyword. This was there, no? This particular keyword. Split it. I says will be 1, E is 2. This rest of the things will be the second element. By default, what will happen if you don't pass anything? Can you guess what can happen? It has split based on space. If you don't pass anything, default value will be a space. Okay, which is in general most of the cases. Whatever the function you define, you are working on space for something, by default it will call like a space. So these are all you can even read from the Python documentation, but which we will use frequently. I'm trying to explain here. Now I would like to compare. Suppose we got these values. Let us say after the split, I will store into a words list. So which is what we got. We're getting the words right. Can I revert it back to a string for a sentence? How can I do that? Words list we got. Maybe you may be thinking. So what could be the function? Split means the next word will be joining. Maybe you are thinking join. And you have to mention maybe how do you want to join? Maybe because of the space. This words list, this is the output. We would like to combine it back to the same string. You may think like this, which is very sensible, right? But which is not. Unfortunately, there is no join function inside a list. There is a split function for the list, for a string, but for the list, there is no join function. They haven't provided. The strings are having the split, and strings are only having the join. So how we have to write, join based on a space. You pass the words list now. So which you give same thing. If you pass here ampersand, it will join based on the ampersand. So whatever the value, here I am given space, so which you got back the same value from this words list. So internally what it will try to do, so it will form an empty string and it will try to add up one by one values from this list. Empty string it will create it and I will be getting it. It's equal to string builder, string buffer in case of Java. If somebody is from the Java background, so it's equal to that. But you have to create an object and do the append one by one. But here it is very simple. Just based on what you want to join, that you have to mention dot and join and the input list. So tell me this thing. So list 1 and list 2 we have. I would like to combine both the lists and I would like to get list as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How can I do that? That's it. List 1 plus list 2. Plus you may think it may do the arithmetic operation. No, in the case of a list, it will concatenate list 1 with the list 2. That's why we got an output as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is one more way which you can do. If you don't want to use the plus operator, still you can do the other way. The other way is like you had to, which one you wanted to append. Like suppose if you would like to change, which one you would like to change. Uh, Maybe I would like to create a new list from the existing list 1 and list 2. You combine it and store into a list 3. Okay, that is what it means. List 3 dot extend maybe you may think append function is already there, right? Append list 1. And you may think append list 2. So can you tell me what will be the output here? Correct? So is it what I wanted? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Mm.
5, 6. Here appending this list 1 as an element here. A list inside a list, but I wanted like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inside a single list, I would like to get it. But here when I use the append function, this entire list is getting appended to the list 3. This entire list is getting appended to the list 3. Which is not which I wanted. So of course this may be true. Entire there's an element, right? If you would like to access as the first index, list 3 of first index 0, you will get entire elements as an output. So append function will not give us the things which we want. Of course, this may be if your requirement is to append like this, that is true. But my requirement is to append something like this. That's where we get a function called extend. Use a function called, instead of append, use an extend. You get similarly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how we got in plus operator. So you can use any of the things. So better to use extend most of the times than this plus operator. So for performance wise, this was better. So because you already have a list, but the existing list you wanted to extend one by one values. Here it is like completely you're creating a new list. Here also you're creating a new list, but we have more control. There we don't have the control. So this is all about the lists. So very simple, and you're able to even with it like. So find that. So we will meet tomorrow again. So we'll extend with the other data structures also. And I would like to see how many of you, I think here, Arish, okay. Fine guys, tomorrow we'll meet then.
Thank you, Ganesh.
Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
doubts? Any doubts you have, you can ask me. Because by thinking most of the people are already having programming background. If somebody is new and not able to follow up, please ask me the questions.